Hey, this is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com, MikeKollin.com. All right.
Hey, this is Mike. Hey, this is going to be this is going to be the biggest video I've ever made. I'm going to show you something that narcissists are doing to you that is causing a massive pain and fear and anxiety inside you. They are physically doing something to purposely turn you against yourself. Listen to this video. If you only listen to one of my videos ever, this is the video it picks up, and I put the pieces together about some hypnotic techniques that they're doing, and it's something that I can help you with.
So, how does a narcissist turn you against yourself? How does a narcissist beat you down? Well, again, and in my NLP training, this is, again, it's only the practitioner book. I think this is the training. Yeah, there's a master practitioner and then trainer's training, you know, all that stuff. These are pretty big. These are feel like 10 bricks, man. All right. So I think the practitioner is actually bigger. It is. So there's something called anchoring. Now, anchoring, even if you're an NLP trainer, a master practitioner, even practitioner, you absolutely should know what anchoring is. That's like the basics. A narcissist is doing something to anchor, link in massive pain and fear and anxiety in a sting against yourself. To where every time you think about, oh, I'm going to start a business, you get a sting. Every time you think about, oh, I want to be a professional fighter, and you get this sting. I want to make more money. So every time you go to think about achieving a goal, developing a skill, saving money, buying something nice for yourself, doing something, you get this sting
This also includes just everyday happiness, fun, playfulness, laughter, passion, excitement, being motivated, inspired. The reason why all that went away is because there's something that the narcissist purposely did to connect that, or what we call anchor that, to extreme pain, anxiety, and suffering. And that's why you don't do it anymore. Because every time you do, it triggers this pain. And you forgot about how happy you used to be before you met the narcissist, okay? If you're not an NLP trainer or master hypnotherapist, you have no idea what they've done to you. But the good news is we can disconnect that from pain and reconnect it back to happiness, fun, and pleasure.
Here's what they're doing. I'm not going to teach you. Well, maybe I should. All right, I'll give you a little bit. Anchoring is when, now anchoring, let me tell you how you can do it. It can be done through the 5 senses: see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. So let's say I get you, okay, let's do it right now. I'll do something I did at Hewlett-Packard. I want you to take a minute and I want you to think of a really good learning experience. Something where it was such a good learning experience that you were just like, wow, that was so fun, or that was might have been a teacher that you really loved, and there was something about them, their voice, their personality, the way they taught you that made you feel so good, and it made you want to learn. All right? So think of that teacher, or think of that feeling you had inside that made you feel so good. It could have been a sporting event. It could have been practice. It could have been something you learned during a game. Something that just empowered you, or it made you feel curious, or like, I really wanted to learn. So whatever it is for you, go ahead and think of that right now. Okay? Good. All right, so I'm going to tell you what I did. While you're looking at me, while you're listening to my voice, you're thinking of a good experience, right? Or maybe a series of wonderful experiences, positive, empowering, loving. A teacher. I had a teacher in elementary school that could tell that something was going on with me, and she was very loving to me. And I had another, one of my friend's mothers realized that I was not in a good situation. So every time she came around, she would hug me and hold me and like pull me towards her to make me feel safe, to make me feel loved, okay? So these are all positive learning experiences. So simply by asking you to bring up memories that were very positive for you and learning experiences, you link them up to me. You link them up to my voice, especially now the way I'm talking like this. You link them up to my face, maybe my eyes, maybe my glasses, maybe my eyebrows. It was all done unconsciously. I did that at Hewlett-Packard, and they were like, wow, that was amazing, okay? So you might think, I don't understand. What did you do? Here's what it is. Visual, auditory, let's stick with these three. Auditory, kinesthetic, and then there's olfactory, which is smell, and gustatory. So visually, I could say, think of a really good positive experience. And then I could go like that. That's an obvious anchor, but if you don't know what anchors are, you wouldn't know. Or another one, I could go like this, right? But I'd have to do it exactly the same way, right? And then I could bring it up later on and be like, think of a really positive experience. Or let's say I wouldn't have to ask you, I would just have to go like that. Or I could make my voice go into this tone again. Now that's auditory, right? Now you're hearing it, and that will trigger and bring that memory up a day later, 2 days later, or the next time you listen to my video. My face might bring it up just by seeing my face, or maybe my hand gestures, right? Or maybe seeing me do this. All right. I noticed an anchor. I just caught myself doing an anchor unconsciously, and I'll tell you what it is. All right. That's what it is. All right. I just caught myself because we unconsciously do this stuff all the time. Then kinesthetic would be, let's say I say, think of a really positive state, time when you were really fucking pumped up and motivated. Yeah, it's a football game, coach. Okay, what happened? Well, I got the ball and I smashed in this guy and knocked him down, and I ran across the goal line and the crowd went nuts. And then I would touch him on his knuckle, maybe touch him on his shoulder, right as he's peaking, and that would be a kinesthetic anchor. You could do the same thing with smells. In fact, there's a certain, oh God, what is it called? They use scents to help you get over allergies and fears and all. And they'll anchor with one scent, and then they'll neutralize it with another one, and then they'll do it together. And then when you think of the bad experience, they have you smell the positive one, and that now that links you, instead of fear, it links you to this positive emotion. Well, guess what narcissists do? They do that in reverse. Yep, they purposely will anchor you to negative, fearful states and anxiety. I'm not kidding. So here's basically how they do it. Let me think. They could ask you a question about something, and then they could act like they're about to rage, right? Like, right? Or if you don't, let's say politically they're this way, and then they ask you about it. You're like, well, actually, I think this way over here, and then they go, so now you're getting stabbed, right? Let's say you start talking about your goals or your dreams or something you really want in life, and what they'll do is they'll make you feel guilty. They'll either verbally say, oh man, what are you? Are you selfish? What are you this? They'll do stuff like that. And then now you're attaching an anchor, a link to that thing over there. Let me give you anchor. Let me break down anchors a little bit better. Okay, let's say there's a kid whose father died when he was like 11 years old, right? Well, at the funeral, everyone's walking up to him, behind him, and patting him on the shoulder, right? So from behind, like they're standing next to him, oh, I'm so sorry to hear about your dad. And they pat him on the shoulder and they say, I'm so sorry to hear. Well, those two things will get linked up. So he's crying, someone touches him on the same place, on the shoulder, which is where, on the shoulder or the back, which is where most people touch someone when they're grieving. So I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, he's 18 or however old, he's at a baseball game and they're winning, and he just hit the home run. He ran all the way around. Everyone's like, yeah. And he's hugging everyone like, yeah. And then someone comes up behind him and pats him right on that part of the shoulder, and he starts to cry, and everyone's like, whoa, what's wrong, man? He's like, I don't know anymore. You don't know why you're crying. It's an anchor. Again, anchors can be visual. Could be a certain look someone gives you. Could be they do this twice. Could be, or what did I do before? How did I do that? Like this. Could be auditory. It could be a certain phrase with a certain tone. Could be kinesthetic, again, the touch. And it could be done by smell. A lot of people will, when they smell grass, it'll bring back childhood memories. Here's another one. So for the kid, let's say he's doing really good. Let's go back to that one first. And everything's fine, and someone comes up and pats him on that part of his shoulder, right? Like right there behind him, right? And he just starts crying and doesn't know why. That's an anchor. So another anchor that people have is, let's say apple pie. Different apple pies smell different, but I do remember when I went to my friend's house, as we were getting closer to the house, I smelled this apple pie, and it made me feel really good because it reminded me of an experience when I was a kid, a certain apple pie that my grandma used to make all the time. And going to grandma's house was good times, man. And every time you went to grandma's house, it was a good experience, right? So it would trigger that same emotion. Here's another one. When I was a little kid in kindergarten and first grade, first grade, they made this certain pizza that had a certain smell and a certain taste, right? So I used to love every time at lunch I would get that pizza every single time. Well, about 15, no, it was more than that, probably 20 years later, God, I forget the name of a restaurant. It was kind of vegetarian. They only sold hard-boiled eggs, but you got in line, you got your own food, and you got pizza. I remember the first time I went there, man, when I was a little kid, and because you had to wait in line, you had to pay first, and then you could go to the buffet. It was like a buffet thing. I cannot remember the name of this place. I don't think they're open anymore. And I started to smell that pizza, but I didn't know it yet. And I was talking to my brother, like out of the blue, I started talking, man, when I was a little kid in first grade, there was this pizza. Oh, it was delicious. And he looked at me and goes, why are you talking? He goes, I don't give a shit. I go, wow, I am talking about that. And as we started going, you got to get the vegetables first, your salad, and then you get to pick like hard-boiled eggs, pizza, desserts. And I was like, oh my God. And then when I bit it, it was the exact same pizza. And I hadn't smelled that pizza since first or second grade. All right. That's an anchor. So that would be a smell, olfactory, right? So here's the point about all this. What a narcissist is doing to you, you've seen videos where they say, well, they turn you against yourself, right? What they did was every time you got happy, every time you got excited, they would sting you. Now, they have set this sting up before by bringing up bad memories. Like, okay, here's what narcissists will do. They will, I can think of one right now. I was in a really bad car accident, so they kept bringing that up. Well, does that scare you? Does that scare you? Or what was it like? Was it terrifying? And what they're doing is they got their voice like this. So then when something good happened, hey, man, they go, oh, really? And they use that same tone and that same look. And it would sting me. In fact, thinking about it right now, it kind of stings me again. Do you get it? These are anchors. So what they do is they stack anchors to the point where it's just unbelievably painful. And you get a massive fear and anxiety in your solar plexus or your heart and chest area. Are you starting to understand how devious these fuckers are? And they are fuckers. They're demonic motherfuckers. Excuse my language, but I really don't like these people. They are professionals at destroying people. And the fact that they're doing this, what they are doing is every time you think of a positive thought, they sting you. And now that gets linked to the positive thought. Every time you have amazing emotions, they sting you. They fire off that anchor, and it brings hurt and pain to the point to where you're just either living in fear and you're angry all the time, just like them. That's what narcissists are doing to you. Hey, this is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. I am a professionally trained life coach, and I mean 12 years of going seminar after seminar. These seminars, these are 5 weeks long. Just a practitioner. Then you have the master practitioner. Then you have trainers training, another 5-week long training. I went to really, really long trainings. Now you think, oh, you went to 3? I went to dozens. I trained, retrained, trained with different companies, trained with Tony Robbins. I was just one of the people I trained with for about 2.5 years. Okay? I can help you reconnect these things, these fears and these pains. You know what? I know this video is going a little longer than I want to. No, it's not that bad. If you feel like you can't, and that's what is like, well, I can't. People are like, yeah, sure you can. You've ever had someone like, yeah, sure you can. You can do it. No, I can't. Because you're feeling this fear, or maybe it's pain and anxiety. Like it might even feel like an actual sting, like a big wasp sting. What they've done is they have linked up a lot of massive fear states that they've, like, I'm trying to think, what was the last one? What did he say? He goes, are you afraid to be here? Are you afraid of this? Or he would bring up bad memories. When narcissists first meet you, they study your history. They ask you about your mom, your dad. What was your childhood like? And you say, oh man, this happened, that happened. And they anchor that in when you go into that state. Do you understand? And so later on, they'll start bringing stuff up, and then they'll anchor that in. And then when you have a good state, like something positive, they sting you with it. Hey man, I'm gonna start a business, and they sting you with it to the point where you are turned against yourself, that everything you think, I want to do this, sting. I can do this, sting. I want to make more money, sting. I'm going to set a goal, sting. To all of a sudden where you can't function. I can help you with that. I can disconnect those stings, those anchors, and then I can now, okay, remember what I said earlier on? I'm going to end it right here. They connect all your positive stuff to pain, right? So here's all the positive stuff, like you get excited, you got passion. Remember what it was like before you met the narcissist, how happy you were, how much fun you had in life, you're creative, and you're motivated and excited. They connect all those positive feelings to pain. So the minute you feel this, it fires off this sting, this really amped up sting that's way more powerful than all these feelings, and it stings 10 times worse. What we're going to do is we're going to disconnect all of those, gone. And now we're going to bring a lot of positive memories back up. And now we're going to reconnect those to all the positive memories. So now when you think of something positive, it fires off all these positive memories and puts you in a very powerful, passionate state to where now you're happy again. That's what I am. I'm an NLP trainer and a master hypnotherapist and an energy healer. That's what we do for you. If you need help with your stings, with your negative anchors and all the stuff that the narcissist has done, get a hold of me. I can help you and I will help you. Hey, this is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. If you've been enjoying my videos, please click that subscribe button. I can do things for you that all those other people can't because they're not trained in this stuff. I can help you. I've been doing this for almost 30 years. Yeah, I'm 52 years old. I started training in psychology at 18. I started my NLP training when I was 19. Click subscribe. See you guys soon. God bless you guys. I love you.